Okay, let's talk about the absolute foundation of your physical strength. If you look at the physical transformation of a guy named Jesse, who came into this physical therapy and training program as a self-proclaimed nerd with some pretty severe postural issues, you'd be absolutely amazed by his massive muscle gains. But here's the secret to his success. Those gains would have been physically impossible if he hadn't fixed his posture first. Correcting bad posture isn't just about looking confident when you walk into a room, It is an absolute prerequisite for unlocking your true strength potential.
So if you've been hitting the gym hard, following a strict routine, and still finding that your lifts are just stalling out, or maybe your shoulders are constantly aching, you really need to ask yourself why. The truth is, you cannot physically put yourself in a position to be as strong as possible if you are constantly fighting your own mechanical alignment. Trying to lift heavy with a compromised skeleton, it's literally like trying to drive a sports car with the parking brake on. You're just not gonna get anywhere.
The reality is, your posture is actively sabotaging you. Bad posture isn't just one isolated problem. It's a massive interconnected chain reaction of mechanical failures. It starts way up in the spine and literally cascades all the way down to your pelvis, creating weak points and compensations throughout your entire body. In this explainer, we're going to dismantle that chain reaction step by step and put you back into perfect alignment. Okay, let's dive into this full body roadmap. We'll be covering 1. Unlocking the upper back. 2. Reversing rounded shoulders. 3. Curing nerd neck. 4. Resetting your pelvis. And finally, 5. The quality rep rule. Section 1. Unlocking the upper back to fix the thoracic spine. Let's define the root cause right off the bat: thoracic kyphosis. This is that distinctly rounded, slumped forward upper spine position. The mechanical consequence of this rounding is severe. You literally cannot lift your arms fully over your head. Your shoulder blades are entirely locked up. And once this rounding starts, gravity completely takes over. You are practically begging for severe shoulder pain if you try to push heavy weights while stuck in this forward slump. So how do we fix it? All you need is a broomstick. You just lay face down on the floor with your arms out nice and wide on the bar. Then you simply roll your body to one side while the bar stays fully grounded, essentially blocking you. What we're achieving here is absolutely critical. We're pairing extension with rotation. You open up the chest, reach back, and hang out at the end of the movement for a couple of seconds, doing about 5 or 6 reps each way. As a physical therapy movement, this is highly effective because you must respect the rotational plane of how the spine naturally operates. We are waking up those locked joints. Section 2, reversing rounded shoulders and stopping that shortening. Your shoulders inevitably collapse inward as a direct, undeniable consequence of that rounded thoracic spine we just talked about. And when they do, you suffer from what's called adaptive shortening. Because your body spends all day slumped forward at a desk or staring down at a phone, the muscles on the front of your chest physically adapt. They tighten up and get shorter. Because the front of the body has become so incredibly tight, our primary mechanical goal here is super simple. We need to pull, and pull some more. Enter the face pull. Seriously, this should be your new best friend. Using a band or a cable machine, you keep your arms wide and pull back. But here's the secret to making this work. As you pull, you must externally rotate your arms. You are actively trying to drive your thumbs back behind your body. Do not just rush through this. You pull back, contract those posterior deltoids and rhomboids in your upper back, and you hold that position. You're forcing your upper back muscles to wake up and actively fight against that adaptive shortening happening in your chest. Section 3. Curing nerd neck by waking up the deep flexors. Nerd neck, where your head juts way out in front of your body, is actually just your body's clever little survival mechanism. Think about it. If your entire torso is pitched toward the floor because of that kyphosis, your eyes would be looking right down at your shoes. To look straight ahead, your body compensates by cranking your neck back. This chronic chain reaction severely weakens the tiny, deep neck flexors hidden way deep in the front of your neck. Standard heavy resisted neck exercises, they just aren't enough here. We have to specifically isolate and wake up those deep, weakened muscles. And this brilliantly illustrates the perfect workaround. You take a simple tennis ball and tuck it right between your chin and your sternum. Then you lay down, place a small towel-wrapped weight plate right on your forehead, and do tiny neck crunches, moving from slight extension into a neutral position. Holding that tennis ball in place structurally forces those tiny, neglected deep neck flexors to do all the heavy lifting. It's such a small movement, but I'm telling you, it yields massive postural corrections. Section 4.
resetting your pelvis to fix your foundation.
The pelvis is the literal foundation supporting all the terrible mechanical compensations happening up top. First, consider the posterior tilt. Because of all that forward rounding, your short, tight hamstrings pull your pelvis down and essentially tuck it underneath you. This is the classic no-ass posture that plagues so many desk workers. Contrast that with the anterior tilt, where the hips hinge backward and the butt is pushed out. To actually execute a successful corrective stretch for those chronically tight hamstrings, you must force yourself out of that posterior tilt and into a true anterior tilt.
Here is exactly how you do that targeted hamstring stretch. Elevate your foot on a surface. Point your toes back toward your head and keep your knee completely straight. Now physically force your pelvis into that anterior tilt. Literally push your butt out behind you. Then simply reach your arms forward toward your foot without bending at the waist. You will feel an immediate intense stretch. Insisting on maintaining this precise anterior tilt for 45 seconds per leg is what actually lengthens the muscle and resets that foundational pelvic posture.
Section 5. The quality rep rule to make it permanent. As the saying goes, I'd rather see 10 sets of one quality rep at a time as opposed to doing one set of 10. So the crucial point is that fixing your posture is never, ever about racking up mindless volume. It's not about rushing through a set of face pulls just to say you did it. It is entirely about executing slow, flawless, highly intentional repetitions. One perfect face pull, one perfect neck flexion. High quality over high quantity is the only way your nervous system will adapt and actually make these new postures permanent. A little bit of high quality work goes an incredibly long way. Listen, you didn't ruin your posture in one day, and you certainly won't fix it in one day either. But you can feel these mechanical corrections almost instantly. So I leave you with this final thought. Are you ready to stop fighting your own skeleton? Because the minute you decide to fully commit to these 4 mechanical fixes, you stop self-sabotaging your mobility and you finally unlock the true strength your body has been hiding all along.